Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is NIK Adib ALSUFIAN bin Abdul WAHAB. My metric number is 313641 and I from Bachelor of Banking with Honours Program. Today I want to share about my elementary statistics journey. I have already learned about this elementary statistics subject. It is an important foundation subject, especially for students like me who deal with numbers, data and analysis. At the beginning, I was quite nervous because I had always thought that statistics was difficult and confusing. However, throughout this course, my perspective slowly changed and I started to understand the importance of statistics in both academic and real life. Overall, my learning journey in elementary statistics has been challenging but very rewarding. At the start, I struggled to understand many of the concepts, especially when it involved formulas and probability. I often felt confused and needed more time to understand the question. However, as I continued attending lectures, doing tutorials and practicing questions, I slowly become more familiar with the concept. I learned how to interpret the data, analyze situation and think more logically. What I like most about this subject is that everything I learn is connected and based on previous knowledge. Even though statistics was not easy at first, consistent practice helped me overcome my difficulties and gain confidence in solving statistical problems. My best memory from this course was the moment when everything started to make sense. There was a time when I could finally understand how probability distribution and the data analysis work together. Instead of memorizing formulas, I started to understand the logic behind the calculation. This was a very satisfying moment for me because I realized that I had improved a lot compared to the beginning of the course. This experience stood out because it changed my mindset. I learned that struggling at the beginning does not mean failure, but it is part of the learning process. The moment gave me more confidence and motivation to keep learning even when the subject feels difficult. One of the most important lessons I learned from this course is that statistics help us to understand the real world data. I learned how to summarize the data, interpret graphs, and analyze probabilities in a meaningful way. These skills are very useful because data is everywhere, whether in a business report, surveys, or daily decision making. Statistics also taught me how to think more critically. Instead of just looking at the numbers, I now ask a question such as where the data comes from, how reliable it is, and what it actually means. This helped me make more informed and rational decisions. Overall, this course improved my analytical thinking and helped me see the data from a different perspective. Throughout this course, I also realized that statistics is closely related to real life situation, not just in academic exam. For example, statistics help us to understand trend, make comparison and evaluate information more accurately. Whether it is analyzing survey result, interpreting graph in the news, or understanding risk and the probabilities. Statistical knowledge allow us to make a better and more rational decision. This course also helped me to develop important skills such as problem solving, critical thinking, and patience. I learned that making mistakes is the part of the learning process, and the understanding concept is more the important than memorizing formula. These skills are not only useful in the statistics, but also in other subjects and real life challenges. Overall, learning elementary statistics has contributed to my personal growth and helped me become a more analytical and confident learner. In conclusion, learning elementary statistics has been a valuable experience for me. Although it was challenging at the beginning, I gained a lot of useful knowledge and skill by the end of the course. I think in the future, I plan to apply what I have learned in my banking studies, especially in understanding financial data, analyzing risk, and interpreting customer and market information. Statistical knowledge is important in banking because decisions are often based on the data, trends, and the probability. I believe that the skill I have already gained from this course will be very useful in my future career in the banking industry. That's all for me. Thank you.